And hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the old Vobie One-Eyed Kenobi here, the Vobe Show on the 15th of November 2015. It's 8 o'clock, it's a Monday, what could possibly go wrong? Well, of course, I could be possibly not actually broadcasting, so I need to double check that there is actually people out there and that we are live and that we are doing our thing, and it seems that we are. Big hello to Terence Dankum, Nigel Slater, Neil Gardner, Nigel Sadler, Richard Suggett, the lovely Julia, Kevin Hall, Claire Leach, and so on and so forth. People coming in all the time, which is absolutely marvellous. Oh, there we are. John Berger, George Timperley, Matthew Holdsworth, Shirley Ward, Andy Dalgleish. Lots of people coming in. Anne Osborne, Matthew Holdsworth. I've said that. Claire Leach. All saying good evening, hello, and welcome. So welcome along to another Vobe Show. Just me this evening, flying solo. So I hope that's okay with everybody. The lovely Julia is otherwise ensconced, but we may be able to somehow what's the word I'm looking for when you materialize someone who's not there? What is it? You can bring up the essence of that person. We may be able to do that with the lovely Julia a little bit later on in the show if you're very lucky. But I won't let the bag out of the cat quite yet. Are you well? Have you had a good weekend? Was it okay? First day back at work, all that sort of nonsense. Of course, not everybody works on a Monday. Some people work different shifts, different patterns, of course. And so you may be just having the time off. You may have worked the whole weekend and now you're having a bit of a putting your feet up. And I don't blame you if you are, which would be absolutely fantastic. Got a list of things to talk about, and we got a list of videos to get through in today's show, which is exciting. Hope you're going to be thrilled and spilled. People have been making videos and getting out into the great outdoors and doing stuff. I'm fresh back, of course, as is Mark English from our trip in Avebury, not Aves, whatever it is, that place in Wiltshire, you know, where the Preolithic people and the prehistoric people all got together and erected some stones for whatever reason nobody seems to know. Anyway, never mind all that nonsense. We're back, and I'm Richard. Mark is busy doing his stuff, and I'm busy doing my stuff, and the last show, was a bit heated, wasn't it? Was a bit grilled. I'm afraid I did go on a bit, but not to worry. I hope everybody enjoyed the content anyway. But as you can see, we're back in the studio, in the warmth and comfort of the lovely Vobe studio here in Worthing, by the sea. And are you well, and are you doing good things? That's what we want to know. Emily Champion has arrived. Wendy Wakelin is here. Steve Pulford, he says, who are you? I haven't seen you for so long. Well, last week we were away. It was very difficult to do everything. I do apologise. Henry is here. Henry, David Allam, hello. Thank you for joining me. Kevin Hall, did Richard say November? I don't know. Did I say November? Hello, Kevin here. We're going to be seeing a lot from Kevin in today's show. Well, we won't actually see him. He is like an ethereal being. He seems to be part of the show, but not actually present. You'll see what I mean in a moment. The lovely Liz Housden is here, which is very nice. Essence, thank you very much. The essence of Julia will be conjured up very shortly, ladies and gentlemen, very, very shortly. Mark English, hello Mark, hope you're well, hope you've recovered from the Avebury excitement. We've been there zoning into the stones and getting the vibe and the energy. Oh, the energies, oh my goodness, they went straight up the spine of our backs and out of our earlobes. It was quite thrilling, really. Eric, hello Eric, nice to see you there. I'm glad Eric's there because we have a little bit of fan mail. A little bit of fan mail has come in to get through. So we're going to start with that. Ian Beddoes, also Fiona Cooper, good evening to you, and the lovely Cynthia. I'll be seeing you tomorrow, 9:15 sharp. We're off to Lewis. Yes, the lovely Cynthia, Julian and I are skipping all the way to... She didn't know that we're actually skipping. I hope you got your rope ready. We're skipping to Lewis to go and interview somebody. I can't actually, to be honest, I can't even remember about it. I know it's something to do with Lewis, something to do with somebody elderly, something to do with memories of, and should be fun. And the lovely Jonathan Beluzic, who will be coming in on Wednesday's show to have a continuation of the debacle of the the argument that we had about art. What is art? Is it a load of old rubbish, or is there something more to it? Well, the lovely Julian, the lovely Jonathan and I will be discussing that, probably in heated terms. I'll probably be having a bit of a, throwing a wobbly, throwing a flounce. Always good fun. Throw a flounce. And why not? It's all good entertainment. Robert Crozer is also in. Good evening to you and Dean M. Cooper and Kevin Hall. So, Kevin's asking, does anyone know where Andy Ash is these days? And the answer is, as far as I know, he's vanished off the face-off. He, after one of the shows, he suddenly stopped his his patronage, his donation. And I did email him to see if he was okay and if anything was the matter, but I never heard a thing back, which is a right shame, really. So maybe he's there lurking and watching, and if you are, Andy, do come back to the fold. We do miss you. We love your comments and everything else. I don't know quite what happened. But there we are. He vanished from it. Linda Kane says that she's frozen. I do apologise for that. You need to rub two sticks together to get yourself warm. So we've got some fan mail. I'm going to have a look at that in a second. But first of all, ladies and gentlemen, Kevin Hall has been up into the Lake District. He's taken his camera and he's done a series of reports. So we want to crack on with some of these because there's a few to fit into the show, amongst other things. So, Kevin, where are you? In the Lake District? Yes, I know that, but whereabouts and where are you going?
This is Kevin Hall, and we are starting a walk at the Surprise View. So we're going to be doing a circular walk of about 4 miles, and I will be doing some other videos on the way round, but I'm just going to scan round a little bit just so you can see the views. Sun's just come out and warming up a bit, and we'll be setting off very shortly. This is also another sign that's in the car park just before we set off. The Surprise View here is, the idea is a lot of heather on this walk in the Peak District, but because of the weather we've had with the lack of rain, it's not as vibrant as it was last year, evidently. So it's a bit of a shame, but looking forward to the walk. So Sue and I will be setting off very shortly, and we'll catch you again soon. Bye for now.
Always nice to see a car park, all those lovely parked cars, and of course a couple of signs. But there's more to this. There's definitely more. Kevin will be venturing forth, as he says, through the lovely gorse and the heather. So we'll hang into that. Now, I've got a load of fan mail here. I got this only the other day, and I thought I'd bring it to you. Here we go, the Bald Explorer fan mail. This comes from the one and only Ella's Beehive, all about bees, from the English capital of the honeybee, Featherston, apparently. So thanks to Eric for that. So that's very good. We got that. Oh, steady on. So here's a letter that came through the postal services. Very excited. Dear Richard, hello. Dear Richard, we hope that everything is okay with our favourite Bald Explorer and, of course, the lovely Julia. A few unexpected and evening-filling events have kept us from watching your show, but, he says, but we will do our best to improve our attendance. Well, I hope you do, because obviously there's a hole in that seat over there where your bottom is not sat when you're not watching. But I can see you are so marvellous. It's a big wave from me. Well, sort of medium wave, actually. It could have been a long wave, but, you only get Radio 4 and the light programme on that these days. Anyway, he says, we found this lovely accessory last week and we thought it would be a perfect match for you after we looked at the pictures where you were covered in blue slime over your head. Do you remember the video? I bunged it up the other day. The lovely Ella, Eric's daughter, had shown me how to to make slime. Only for some reason, I'm not quite sure why, I seem to have a few issues with the slime, and it's gone all over the place. Well, I did give my slime to the lovely Julia, and I think she promptly got it all over Elijah's head, all over her husband's head, all over the cat, over the hamster. I think even the snake managed to get coiled up into the slime. So I don't know what happened to it in the end. Maybe the fish have got the slime. Who knows? But anyway, so there's an accessory here. So we'll come to that in a second. Maybe this is the essence of Julia coming into the show. Anyway, he goes on to say, a trip to the shops made us realise that Christmas must be right in front of our doorsteps as the shelves are beginning to fill with Christmas stolen, Christmas Santas and all the other bits and pieces, that we were worried that we were late in writing Christmas cards. Has anybody of you sent any of your Christmas cards yet? Have you sent them? Have you received any? Well, it does seem that Eric has decided in his great wisdom that he will send a Christmas card, and here it is. I'm going to open it now and have a look. And here we go. I think this must be the first Christmas card that I have received this early before Halloween. Yes, and I've got it here. Happy Christmas from Eric, from Bridget, and from Ella, and it's all lovely and signed in the beginning, in the inside there, like that. So, if you could get your Christmas cards to me. This is the challenge now. If you would like to send, we're going to get rid of all those postcards and we'll have a Christmas card wall. And let's see if we can get all the Christmas cards in before the end of November, so that we have no Christmas cards arriving in December. We don't want them. We'll get them all in early. So I'm going to shove that up there first of all. So if you don't know my address, email me, richard@vobes.com, and we will do that. Let me just have a quick look at the comments, see how we're going. Simon Brown is there, which is very nice to see you. Andy Joy, evening to you, Andy. Kevin Hall says it's in the Peak District, not the Lake District. Did I say Lake District? Sorry, I meant Peak District. I did have a peek at it earlier as well, which is a bit strange. Mark Selwood says, evening and hope you're well, Richard. Yes, I'm very well, thank you very much. Kind of you to ask, very good of you. Andy Dalgleish is... hi, Nadia. He's talking to somebody else. Steve Pilfold says, best Bold Explorer video in this household for slime. They watched it 4 times on the loop. Oh, did they? How extraordinary. How marvellous is that? Eric says yes. I'm not quite sure what that is yes to, but that's very pleasing. The slime video was great, says Mark Selwood. Emily Champion says yikes. I do apologise for that. And Robert Crosser says address Richard Vobes. Yes, I'll if you email richard@vobes.com, I will send you my address if you don't know it. Linda Kane says, not the C word FGS. I'll send mine on the 24th. Okay, I don't know what FGS stands for, but there we are. And Maya has done. Well, I don't want any cards that come to me in December, I'm throwing away. I'm not opening them. I've taken a leaf out of Eric's book. I'm going to get them all early. So if you want to send a Christmas card to the old Vobie, One-Eyed Kenobi, to the Bald Explorer show, whatever, send them in before the end of November, and we'll get them up there on the wall. And we'll be a bit different. We are not conformists in this show. We are not sheep. So we're going to do things differently. Now, it's time to see if we can drum up the essence of the lovely Julia, because clearly we miss her presence on the show. She is the only thing in this show that gives us balance and stops me from going into a complete and utter nutcase. But unfortunately, she couldn't make it. So we're going to do, with a bit of voodoo, we're going to try and sort of encourage her up, and a bit of Eric's special, what can I call it, ectoplasm. Let's call it ectoplasm, because he's sent in something here for me to... Now, I've not actually tried to get into this thing before. I've not even tried it on or anything, but I'm going to do it now. Oh, I see. Right. I don't know. Oh. I'm not... Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Here we go. It's got its own little thing. I hope you're ready. Let's have a look. See, which way does that go? So here we are. I've not tried this, ladies and gentlemen, at all in any shape or form. But here we go. Here it is, just for you. Ta-da! Yes, ladies and gentlemen. Slightly shorter than the lovely Julia's. I have no idea what this looks like. I'm sure that I look a complete and utter prat. Now, I've just seen the playback. I look like something out of Mike Flowers' Pops, this. But there we are. Anyway, so the lovely Julia is here in essence, at least in colour, if not in presence. But I hope this has thrilled you as much as it thrills you when she's actually here in the show live. All right, I can see that you're slightly stunned and slightly all over the place. So I tell you what we'll do. We'll go and find out what Kevin's up to. Kevin, are you there? Hello, Richard. Kevin here. Where are you? How's it going at the Peak District?
Hey everybody, Kevin again. We're on Heathersage Moor and I'm just heading towards Carl's Walk, which I'm just about to pan round and onto now. And Carl's Walk is, with the embankments and the cliffs, has been interpreted as an Iron Age fort, hill fort. So you can see the stone wall built up there. So we're going to head down that way now, and we are going to, it looks like a fairly easy climb, so we're going to head for that and climb to the top of Carl's Walk. But behind us there is this huge cliff of rocks and boulders, but up there is a group of children which have got their hard hats on, and they've got a guide, and they're being led through all the nooks and crevices in the rocks, giving them experience of some sort of climbing or even some sort of potholing. So that's, you know, to me that's an amazing thing to do, because of getting the kids outside and away from their computer games and TV. Can't be much better than that, can it? So I'm just going to pan around a little bit more and show you that. So we'll catch you soon. Bye for now.
Well, that looks exciting, doesn't it? Climbing up to the top of that, wow, it's going to be fun. Yes, and don't forget, if you go out and about and you fancy doing a little short video like this, you don't actually have to appear in the videos. Kevin seems to have mastered the way of not actually appearing in the video. We just have a disembodied voice. But it works very well, and I enjoy bunging them in the show. But if you'd like to do one, don't forget you can send them in to richard@vobes.com on the old email, or send them by wetransfer.com, and I'll play them in. Keep them nice and short, couple of minutes would be absolutely brilliant. You can stagger them if you want to do two versions, or 2 minutes at the beginning, 2 minutes in the middle, and 2 minutes at the end. It would be nice to see your face, but don't worry if you can't. And of course you can use your phone. It's very easy to do it. So there we go. Yes, I'm afraid the essence of Julia now has seeped out of the building, which is a bit of a shame, but there we are. But thank you, Eric. Certainly enjoyed that laugh. And next time when Julia's in, who knows, I may wear the wig and maybe you may have difficulty discovering which one is the real Julia. Could be a little quiz that we could do. And if you could work out which one is the real Julia, maybe you win a night out with Eric. I'm sure Eric would be only too pleased to take you to some extremely interesting Beekeepers Association meeting where you can be introduced to 101 buzzy bees with something in their hives for me's. Anyway, enough of this. Let's see what the comments are saying, if people are out there. Steve Pilfold says, flew over both Lake and Peak districts today. Well, that's very nice of you, Steve. Thanks very much. Obviously went up there just to do a bit of a recce on the show's behalf, I can tell that. Matthew Holter says, maybe I shouldn't get Josh to do one for the Vogue show. Yeah, you should. You must do one. That would be great. Robert Crosser says, doing one tomorrow. In fact, stay tuned. Going to stay tuned. Always good to stay a bit tuned, which is good. Emily Champion says, as long as it's landscape. Yes, don't forget to film with your camera this way round and not that way round. Absolutely essential, because if you film that way round, I'm afraid it doesn't make for good viewing, because everybody's watching in a sort of letterbox fashion landscape. The lovely Paul Hine has arrived. Hello, Paul. Lovely to see you. Thank you very much. Good to see you there. Dean says, hello, Mark English. Jonathan Beluzic, speaking of nude artists, watch this space on Wednesday. Wednesday. Nude artists. Oh, I know that Jonathan has asked if he can bring in some pictures and have them shown, and he wanted me not to see them first. And I have to say, Jonathan, I have to bring them in onto the system, and I have to make sure that they are fully conforming to the ratio, you see. Otherwise, they may not go up, and sometimes some photos don't save in the right format, or there's something weird about them and I have to sort of mess about. So I will have seen all the pictures, even though you may think that I won't have, but I don't have to look at them terribly hard. Steve Pilfold says, I haven't done a Vobing report for ages. Well, you know what it is. I know you can easily forget. It's you press the button and you point the camera. That's how easy it is. He says, I'd like to give some kind of exotic excuse for it, but to be honest, I couldn't be bothered. No, I don't blame you. Andy Joy says, we're not as conformists. May I be the first to say Happy Easter 2019? Good for you. Yes, Happy Easter. Get that chocolate going. Vicky Allen has just arrived. Hello, she says. Hello. And Liz says, Liz Housden says, I'm still buzzing, in fact, with one of the bees called Elizabeth. She's never got over that. Well, you know, obviously she was the queen bee, Elizabeth. Whether she was the first or the second, who knows? If the second, of course, would be still residing, but only just. Mark Selwood says, I done one last week, but I haven't got time to edit it together. I'm up in Londonium this week. Oh, yes, the Roman city of Londonium. Just be careful, because the evil, the adventurous, the daring, the fighting, the brave Boudica is coming down to raise the city to the ground. So be careful there in Londonium. And Eric is reporting to Elizabeth saying that we also christened a few more bees in your name, and we'll take some pictures of them individually. I'd like you to make sure that they are all wearing their crowns and their tararas. Which will be good. Anyway, so that's all good. Oh, there's lots more. I made 3 Vobing reports over the weekend, says Richard Suggett. He's just got to edit them, which is good. Dean Cooper says, I've seen Julia. Richard, she's over your right-hand shoulder. A great photo. Ba-dum! Yeah, we had fun. That was our first mini adventure, and we did have a lot of fun. And I think the lovely Julia and I need to go out on another mini adventure. I've been on mini adventures solo now, and with Mark English. I think it's about time that my co-presenter was back out with me, and we did some more fun, which is good. Dan Thompson says, oi, 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 all. Nice to see you do that. Vicky Allen says, love to see you and Julia doing some pumpkin carving on the show. Yeah, maybe before the end of the month we'll carve out a pumpkin and try and get some sort of face and light it up. Maybe we could lower the lights, which would be good. Can I have an Emily B, please? Says Emily Champion. She wants the champion bee. Of course, the champion bee would have to have little boxing gloves on. That would be quite fun, wouldn't it? Going, what is it that Muhammad Ali used to sing? Eats like a butterfly, sings like a tree. I've just done one. There's no flies on me. Something like that. I can't remember it, to be honest with you. Has Richard done the pumpkins at Slindon? I have used the pumpkins. If there's a Slindon video that I did do, and the pumpkins were featured in it. It wasn't actually my footage, I have to admit, but I did include it. I was allowed to include it, which was good. Spa Valley Railway soon, says Fiona Cooper. Yes, we're going on the Spa Valley Railway very soon with George Timperley. So looking forward to do that. So lots of stuff I'm doing. You're doing the Spa Valley, are you, Fiona? That would be great. Now, it's this time in the show, ladies and gentlemen, this moment in the show, let me just say, I'm just going to ignore you for a second, but please don't imagine for one moment that I really am forgetting about you, because I haven't done this for a while, and we, as you know, the lovely Julia and I are passionate about trees. And a while ago, nearly a month ago now, it's hard to believe the time has flied, but we picked up some acorns from the forest floor. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, from the forest floor. Genuine 100% acorns. They really were acorns. And we picked them up, and I have planted them. Now, you'll be very impressed to know, won't you, ladies and gentlemen, as I bring them in here, what is the development of these marvellous things. They've been sitting in the studio all this time, and I'm looking down at them. You can't see them because they're behind the computer monitor, but I'm looking down at them now, and I can tell you that the little saplings, the acorn breaking out into wonderful little saplings. I can tell you, it's so exciting. It really is. In fact, so exciting. I'm going to zoom the camera in just a little bit here so that you can see. Look at that there. Nothing. Absolutely bloody nothing. Zilcho, ladies and gentlemen. Not a sausage. Maybe in this one. No. I have neglected them, to be fair. I have neglected them, so I thought it's only fair that I water them. Now, I mostly water them with a little bit of water. Obviously, a little bit of water. But I have been giving them some tea, some coffee. I gave one a bit of Red Bull the other day. Hot cocoa, which was rather nice. One turned his nose up at hot cocoa and demanded custard. So I've given them a bit of custard. One of them wanted Coleman's mustard. Gave them some mustard. And hopefully now, ladies and gentlemen, that they will soon spiral up like that and a little oak tree will be born, which will be very exciting. I'm very thrilled about that. But at the moment, I can tell you nothing. I've also planted out the back there some ash. Is it ash? It's either yeah, I think it's ash. Ash and some other things. Nothing. And conkers. Yeah, got the conkers underway. No. Bloody waste of time, really. Waste of time, ladies and gentlemen. Absolute waste of time. However, by the spring, we should see something. But I will keep checking back because I think it's absolutely essential that we have a look and see if there's any progress on that side of things. Let's see what people are commenting. By the way, I discovered today that I can put a poll in the show. I can put a poll. I can ask a question and type in a question and do a poll. So I don't know what to put in there. It says ask a question here. Let's see what happens if I... let's have a look. Are you keen on Christmas? Oh, I put Chris Manns. Okay, so... Oh, hang on. When I type, for some reason, the other videos come up. I don't know quite why that. Question 1 is yes. Option 2 is no. Publish that. See what happens. I do apologise about the video suddenly starting, but that wasn't supposed to happen. Oh, look, there we are. It's come up. Are you keen on Christmas? Yes and no. First, it's the first poll I've ever done. Obviously, we could get some questions elicited by the lovely viewer, and you could tell us some questions. We could see how they go. But as that Christmas card came in, if we can have the Christmas cards, we can get them on the thing. That would be absolutely marvellous. But we'll see how we're going. And already you can see that it's 50-50 at the moment with the viewers. 40. It's going like this. It's like that. Oh, it's quite exciting, isn't it, having a poll? I've never done a poll. I thought that was great. So there we are. I don't know how you get shot of the poll. That's the trouble. There must be a way of getting rid of it because it's in the way now. On my screen, it's up there. But if I want to show a video or do the gallery, which I'm going to do, it's on my list of things to do. I don't know how we get the poll to leave the screen. So publish results. I think there's a button there that we can at any time publish the results. So we'll leave that going for just a little bit longer, and we'll have a look and see what else. Oh, I've got another. Yes, I've got things to put in. Which I need the whole screen on. Well, at the moment, it seems that 59% are in favour, and 39. Oh, it's fluctuating. It's fluctuating. I'm so excited. I'm so excited, ladies and gentlemen. It's too much. I wonder if you could make that smaller. You can't make it any smaller. All right. Well, I'm going to publish the results. So there we are. Are you keen on Christmas? Are you keen on Christmas? There we are. I've published them now just to see what happened. It's 59% say yes, 41% no. But I've got shot of them now, so there we are. Good. Right, now, ladies and gentlemen, we spoke to Kevin Hall earlier, didn't we? We've got more of his videos coming up. But before all of that, and before we go to the gallery, I wanted to show you something for a bit of an R factor. Over the weekend, I went to see my lovely grandson. Lovely, I am a granddad. Hard to believe, ladies and gentlemen, that I am actually a granddad. Very hard to believe. I know that. It may come as a bit of a shock because clearly I look far too young. However, I am a grandfather, and I'm very proud to say that I bought some little presents to take to my grandson to see if he would enjoy playing them. And one of them was this wooden fire engine. Lovely little thing, very easy, nice little wooden fire engine. He's only 6.5 months, ladies and gentlemen. Only 6.5 months. He's gorgeous. I imagine that you'd like to see a picture, wouldn't you? You'd like to see a picture. Yes, of course you would. Here we go. There we are. Look at that. That is my lovely grandson, and his name is George. He's 6.5 months, and that is the lovely little toy that I bought for him. And I imagine now that you're all going, oh, what a lovely little chap. And he is a lovely little chap. There are more pictures, but I don't want to publish those. It's not my place to publish all the pictures of my son's son, as it were. But I just wanted to share that lovely one because it gives you a lovely little, oh, look at the little face. Cheeky little chappy, oh, bless. And all of that. Yeah, good. All right, now, talked about Kevin Hall, didn't we? Kevin Hall's out and about doing stuff. But before we get to the Kevin's next instalment, which is a little lengthy, Kevin I saw at the weekend also, and he gave me a present. It's Monday, the 15th of October 2018, and I'm in my back garden, such as it is, and on Saturday met up with Kevin Hall, one of my lovely loyal viewers on the YouTube and Facebook, and he knows that I'm buying an SE iron heart for my kitchen, and I shall need to chop wood because it's a wood burning stove, so very kindly bought me a present. It's a saw. It's a saw, and here it is, a razor sharp saw. So I thought today, I'm just trying to find somewhere to put this where it won't get soaking wet because everything is wet. I thought today I'd just give it a quick get. Normally it makes that funny noise, doesn't it? Oi, 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 oi. In reality, it doesn't do it. So anyway, I'm going to give it a quick whirl to see if it works, because I have a piece of wood here. It's relatively dry, and typical sort of joist from a house rafter or whatever. I'm going to see if it chops. Should we give it a whirl? Let's. I think somewhere about here. Oh, wait a minute, there's a nail there. Let's not do that. There we go. Let's do another one. Oh wow, really cool. Absolutely fantastic. Thank you, Kevin. It's really good. Marvellous. Incredible. It's like going a hot knife through butter. Kevin, thank you so much. I'm absolutely thrilled with that. I've had those saws in the past and they've just been rubbish, but then I have bought cheap ones, so maybe that's a pretty expensive one, and maybe it's something to do with the steel or something to do with the teeth. I don't know, but whatever it is, oh, that's my phone going. Whatever it is, it's absolutely incredible. So, you know, brilliant. Thank you very much. I shall be there slicing up my wood, as you can see, ready for my lovely SA Ironheart, which I bought, my new stove, and I should be making videos about that and showing you how it's going to be installed and all that, just to bore you senseless, because I'm determined this winter not to be cold. I've been cold for the last how long have I been here? 28 years. 28 years I've been in this house, and each winter it's been cold. So I'm determined this year not to have ice on the windows and you know, frost all over the ground. So Kevin, let's go and find one of your next. See how you're doing up there in the Peak District. Now this is a little bit long, and but it's very interesting. So Kevin, take us away. Where are you, and how are you doing with your climb?
We're now at the bottom of Carl's Walk, and I'm going to try and video walking up these steps, and also keep an eye on where I'm walking. So don't want to take too long, but I will do my best to keep this as steady as I can. Obviously I've got to try and pick my way up through these stones, but also keeping an eye on where we're heading to. So far, he says, so good. Up. Richard should be here doing this with his GoPro and his gimbal. So that is the stone wall. So we're going to go round this way, and you will get a glimpse of the views. Try and get up here without tripping or falling. And here we are, we're at the top of Carl's Walk. Just walking up a bit further. Made me a bit puffy getting up there. But it's absolutely beautiful. Walk up this way a bit further. Sorry if the camera's a bit shaky. But I'm just on my Samsung 8 phone, which is not on a gimbal. It's on the end of my arms, in my hands. So we're just going to walk up round here. At least there's some fairly decent footpaths to walk on. But you could see, if I look over the edge, and just pan around there, you can see why this would make a very good Iron Age fort. But we'll carry on up this way, up onto two big stones, and heading towards this rather magnificent stone right in the middle. And as you can see, there's lots of different stones that's been shaped by the wind and rain, and they're all around us up here. So I'm just panning round, and away in the distance, in that one direction, you can see the slightly misty all around the hills. But I'll come back round this way and go further around. But this video is already at 3 minutes, and probably this is going to be the longest video I've done on a Bald Explorer group. But to be honest, this is worth the time to come up here and film it. So I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to head up to this bit, just up to this well, cliff face really, and try not to walk off the edge, because this is incredibly high. So I'm going to just pan down there and stand right on the edge. I just hope a nice big gust of wind doesn't come along, because that is what I'm looking at down there. into the trees. But you can see why this would make a fantastic hill fort, Iron Age hill fort. Okay everybody, I'll end that video there. Quite a long one for me. I know Richard likes my shorter videos, but on this occasion I think it was worth doing that little bit extra. And I think the next one I do will be my last one, which is probably when we get back near the car park. Bye for now.
Amazing. Isn't that amazing? Isn't that a tremendous? So beautiful. And you're quite right. I should have been there with my gimbal. I should have been up there. Well, I do want to go to the Peak District. I love to take the lovely Julia up into the Peak District and go exploring. Not so many trees, but all those beautiful flowers and things. Especially the colours of the heather and that, and the rocks. It'd be amazing. So I would love to go up there and do a mini adventure. So many places, so many exciting places to go and see in this country. You don't need to go overseas. You don't need to go abroad. But I don't know whether I would go at this time of year because it'd be a bit bleak and a bit cold. It'd be nice to perhaps go in the spring. So, Julia, you've got plenty of time to pack the bags and get ready. We'll find one of these, like the apartment that Mark English and I stayed in, Airbnb. We had this amazing apartment. We had our own rooms, which was great, and then we had a kitchen, and we had this downstairs hanging out room. When I say hanging out, I mean like lounge. You know, this lovely sofa, ever so good value. The number 4 post office cottages. I'll give them a plug because they were brilliant. And for 2 days, ladies and gentlemen, for 2 nights, for 2 people in 2 separate rooms, and all of that right at the edge of Avebury, it was 150 quid. Amazing, absolutely. You know, B&Bs are much more expensive. Airbnb, love it, and you get these wonderful things and places to go. So superb. Sometimes, of course, you've got to be there for at least 2 nights to make it worthwhile from their point of view, so they don't have to wash the sheets every night, of course. But that said, if you're going for a couple of nights, and I think, you know, a couple of nights, I would like to go to Bakewell up in the Peak District and try some of their tarts. Yeah, well, you know, the edible version. I think that would be very nice and very appropriate. Let's go and have a look at the gallery, shall we? Before we do, Mark Selwood was talking about in his house it's often warmer in the winter outside than it is on the inside, and that's exactly what it was like and is like in mine. So this is why I have now, thanks to some inheritance money from my father, good old dad, I have invested it in something in the house, and it's this Ironheart stove which will heat the water. I don't have any radiators, by the way, so it'll heat the water for hot water. It will cook, you can cook on it, and it will heat the house, the core of the house and the kitchen, so that you can hang your washing up in the kitchen, so I don't have to use the electric. I'm trying to get my electric bill. I don't want to give them to the big corporations who just seem to sort of, you know, keep them. I'd rather invest in the forest companies, the woodland companies that grow ash, because wood is sustainable and it's a lovely smelling product, and it's I love ash. I think it's great. So anyway, let's crack on with the gallery. And in the gallery today, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to start first of all with this rather delightful picture, which you can see in front of you, by Paul Hine, taken by Paul Hine, who says, "I've been trying for years to picture a kingfisher, then out of the corner of my eye, I catch one, that telltale flash of colour. There are superior photos, but at long range I am pleased." So there we go, look at that, it's sitting there. I hope you can see that all right. Well done, Paul, looks absolutely brilliant. I did once had the chance to take a picture, but because by the time the camera was ready, the blooming thing had blown off. Here, this is Richard Suggett, who sent in this picture, and it's Patching Pond. I'd like to do a walk around Patching Pond, so maybe, Richard, if you're up for that, that would be good, or even the lovely Julia and Richard, go there and try and identify some trees, which would be great. It'd be lovely to take the coracle that I do own onto Patching Pond. There's a suggestion. Sarah Paul. Hello, Sarah Paul. She says, how about a sprinkle of magic for Friday? It's actually Monday. We're borrowing this from Friday's gallery. Just a fairy up on a roof at Bosom. So there it is. Look, little fairy on the rooftop. Well done, and thank you for spotting that. That is an unusual, lovely little thing. There you go. How marvellous. Now, Sue Blount has been out and about. Lovely colour at, I'm not quite sure how you pronounce this. Is it Colk Abbey? Colk Abbey or Colky Abbey? She says, and she's taken some photographs, and they're more obviously in the Bald Explorer group pages, so check them out if you want to have a look at those. But beautiful colours. I don't know what those plants are, the yellow ones, against what looks like the red ivy or some sort of ivy type of plant there on the wall, but that looks amazing. So well done, Sue, for catching that. Amanda Hodges has been to lovely Poling. There's a place that I've driven through Poling many times on the way from Worthing to Arundel. I know that Poling is famous, of course, for having the radar transmitters during the Second World War. Not quite sure where the site was. It'd be interesting to try and find that. But there must be there's an interesting walk there to be had, so I must take my camera out and go and have a look at Poling, which would be good. Ed Warren has posted this. He says, if you can make the journey to Blackdown, it is a beautiful place to be. That is a little pond on the top of Blackdown. I think that's the pond that the lovely Julia and I went up to when we met up with him and the other chap whose name now has just gone out, Andrew somebody or other. Was it Andrew somebody or other? It was somebody or other. Anyway, I'm getting myself into a hole there. But yes, Ed Warren, of course, famous for many pictures of Blackdown, and it's always lovely to see them. Glenn Johnson, who we met the other day, lovely bloke. Glenn Johnson has posted this. He says, a great bit of cross species in, oh golly, here's a long word for the Vobes to read without notice. Inscrutulation. I don't know. Inoscrutulation at Ridges Park in Crowthorne. So look at that. It looks like one tree has melted and moulded itself like hot molten lava onto the tree of another. And it does look like one of those is a beech tree, the ones on the left, and the other could be, well, it could be anything, but it could be an oak tree looking at the bark. But there we are. That's insculation. I don't know what the word is, but anyway, whatever the word is, perhaps someone can tell me and I could work it all out. So here we go. Henry David Ullum. Hello, thank you for joining me. He says, I've been to Kerry Bog Village, County Kerry, in Ireland. It's interesting, actually, that you should go to Bog Village, because there is a village in Shropshire, very close to the Stiper Stones, called the Bog. It's a mining village. So I wonder what this village is. Perhaps you could let us know, Henry, in County Kerry in Ireland. Fantastic. Lovely looking houses, I have to say. Beautiful. They almost look like they're not real. They look like toy houses, don't they? That from a distance, that render, that finish on them, and they're nicely trimmed. Beautiful, very, very beautiful. Thank you for sharing those. Maggie Walters has been to Tenbury Wells. Tenbury Wells. I know Tenby. Oh, Tenby in South Wales is one place, but this is Tenbury Wells. Not quite sure where that is. St Mary's Church, but it looks a grand church with a lovely gate and a nice bell tower there at the end of the west end of that church, which looks splendid. So thanks for sharing that, Maggie. Well done to you. Always, we missed you, actually. Haven't seen much of you. I hope you're touring away in your wonderful VW camper van. And finally, I recognise this one. I was only there the other day. The fabulous Mark English has been to Avebury, and this is the Dovecote with St Michael's Church in the background at Avebury. and it's looking absolutely resplendent. I've got pictures very similar to that. And in fact, tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen, tomorrow you may be interested to know that the video of the day is in fact Mark and I taking a walk around, and you will see inside that dovecote. So how about that? That's quite exciting, isn't it? So thanks to Mark, and it was absolutely terrific. We had a fantastic, despite the grilling that we had on the live show, we've had a fantastic adventure. We loved every minute of it, and we'll have to do something similar. So yes, it was great fun, and we had marvellous accommodation, and the weather, of course, was all on our favour. The last day was a little bit windy and a bit gusty, with the tis on the video a bit gusty, and I've got to sort out my audio a bit better somehow for some of these videos, but we had such a stunning time. It was terrific. Nearly running out of time, ladies and gentlemen. Stuart Douch has arrived, which is nice to see him there. It's not a real place, it's just a tourist creation. Oh, this is the one with the place I said it looks a bit like toys. Oh, that's interesting. Thanks very much. This is a week or two old now, most of the gallery. Oh, well, not to worry. Don't let that worry you. Lovely pictures nonetheless. Thanks very much. Avebury happened. Yes, it did happen. We did it. So that was all good. Mark Selwood says, how about another show tomorrow, Richard? We've missed your live studio shows. Well, we'll be back on Wednesday. I've got so much to do. You may or may not have heard that my mother died fairly recently. We've got a lot of stuff. Got the funeral coming up. And we're picking out pictures and music and various things. It's trying to get her flat sorted out because it's got to be cleared by the end of the month, unlike my father's house, which is still an ongoing thing. So I've not been around a lot myself, and then I'm out filming and creating the content for the shows. There's lots of videos that we've got that are all coming, and we've been to Avebury, so I have to limit the Vobes shows are taking second place to the main videos. So I apologise for that. I can't do anything about that. And there's a lot going on at the moment, and I need to concentrate on those. But, you know, I'm doing my best. And before I go, but I'm not going, I've got some other bits to show you. But I do want to just mention that, of course, you can help out if your support. Many people do, and we do appreciate that very much. But you can become a patron of the Vobes, support the Bald Explorer, and if you go to baldexplorer.com, that's the best place to go to. If you go there, here it is. You can make a donation, whatever you can afford. You know, a couple of £100,000 would be fine, or £2 a month. For price of a cup of coffee, £2-3 a month. People do that, and it really helps to make us get out to places like Avebury. We're very thankful for the accommodation. Mark was very appreciative. He was going to go, and he said, "Well, I'll help pay for this." And I said, "No, this is, if you're prepared to get up early and go out and do the filming, and we'll create some content." I said, the patrons will be paying for the accommodation. So thank you very much from both Mark and I. We really do appreciate that. And you can support the Vobes, and we will get out and go to more interesting places. We're trying our best to expand from just the Sussex area, although of course I grant you a lot of interest in Sussex and that sort of thing. And of course we welcome you guys to send in your videos of where you've been, just as Kevin Hall has, and in fact Elaine Brazier has. So you do, if you can spare a few bits of change to help. There's all the YouTube channel people are doing it now. They don't get money from the adverts in the way that they used to do. I heard a bloke on the radio today who's a YouTuber and into political stuff, and he was being interviewed, and he's earning £10,000 a month from his channel. I don't get anything. I don't even barely. I think it's about £120 I get from the patrons. I'll be completely frank with you, about £120 a month. Support. Now, I appreciate some people suddenly will send me in a check. Sometimes I get a check for like £100 on a one-off thing, or £50 being come in, and things like that, which is really, really helpful. And it's things like those that really help us go and be able to get more people on the screen and just do it. We're a bit like the Americans with their public service broadcaster. I don't want to run adverts. I don't want people telling me what I should and shouldn't have in the content by corporate sponsors. I want to be independent. I want to serve you guys as best as we can. So, you know, if you enjoy it, then and I don't want to set a price, because somebody may say £2 is all I can afford. And somebody else may say, you know, £40 is what I can afford. So, you know, it's entirely up to you. Anyway, time is running out, and I want to show this because Elaine Brazier has sent in some photos and some video. Now, I'm not entirely sure, Elaine, where it is. It's and I'm not sure how you pronounce it. It's T. Heidi Woods. I imagine it must be in Kent. Maybe it's near Dover, where she lives. But there's some beautiful pictures and lovely bits of music. So just for the next few minutes, enjoy this, and we'll come back and we'll finish off with a bit of Kevin and see how he fared. Oh, it's in Cornwall. So there we are, ladies and gentlemen. How lovely was that? That was delightful. And you see how easy it can be. You don't have to necessarily do a lot of waffle. You can just go and get some scenic views. It's really nice because it breaks up the show. We do an hour's show. It's quite nice when we have contributors bunging in bits and pieces, and it breaks it up. It gives me a little bit of a break. I can have a cup of tea or something, or prepare the next item, etc., etc. So that's all good. Kevin Hall, where are you? Have you managed to... Did you fall off the edge? Did you fall off the edge of that high cliff? I want to know.
Everyone, this is Kevin again, doing his last video from today's walk. And the building you can see away in the distance is Longshore Estate. And that was used as a hospital in World War One. But we're now on what is called the Sunken Trail. And just going to drop down and I'm going to pan round. But it's the same all the way through with heather and gorse. And I'm just going to step over to the path, the other side of the path. Oops, excuse the shaky camera or phone. So I'm just walking up now so I can try and get a final shot being attacked by some sort of insect. So I'm going to step over so that you can see right up through the valley there. And this is the hidden trail or sunken trail, which has taken us up to a car park where we're parked. So I'm just going to come back round this way and step over the path because there is a bit of a dip. So this is Kevin and Sue, Vobes reporting from the Longshore Estate, saying goodbye to everybody.
Bye. Bye. There we are. Lovely to see Sue right at the end. Nice wave. Well, we've run out of time. Thanks, Kevin. Really appreciate that. There's more of Kevin's stuff. He sent me a whole wodge of them, but don't worry, they're not going to be in every show, but we're going to bung them in when we can. It's great to see them, and don't forget you can make your own and contribute to the show. However, we've run out of time, I'm sorry to say. Tomorrow's video is going up in the group in the morning at about 7 o'clock as usual. Will be lovely Mark English and I in Avebury having a look round, going into the Dovecot and what have you. We've got some more, there's a few more from Avebury and even one of Albourne, which will be coming up this week, where we visit, for those geeks who like Doctor Who, a location where John Pertwee was being filmed back in the 1970s, but you'll have to wait for that. In the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, when you hear this music... yes, it means that I'm afraid the show has come to an end. And I have to disappear and prepare myself for my outing tomorrow with the lovely Cynthia Julian, where we're going off to meet somebody else to do another video. I think in Lewis. Haven't been to Lewis there for a while, so looking forward to that. In the meantime, take care. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the show and hope you've enjoyed all the contributions. Don't forget, if you wish to make a contribution, don't forget to send them in to richard@vobes.com. Your videos will be fantastic. If you want to make a financial donation, then that's great. Go to baldexplorer.com and you'll see how to make a donation there. There's a little tier system on the patronage thing. And you will get my Naked Englishman podcast daily, which goes out also. But from me here in the studio, thanks so much for watching. Thanks for the comments. If you've got some ideas for polls that we can have in the show, we'll set those up. On Wednesday, Jonathan Beluzic will be here. We'll be having a good debate about art. So don't miss that. That's at 8 o'clock on Wednesday coming. But until then, thanks so much for watching. For now, bye for now.